What up? What up? This is DB talking now. DB talking birds. DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. Happy Monday, everybody. So the Philadelphia Eagles made their way to New Jersey today to have joint practices with the New York Jets. Obviously, as we know, the Philadelphia Eagles have their third and final preseason game later in the week, this week on Friday, with the New York Jets. I'm really excited about this one. Reason being is because we'll get to see rookie quarterback Zach Wilson go up against our defense. We'll get to see how this Philadelphia Eagles defense bounces back against another team after the debacle against the New England Patriots last Thursday. A few things that I want to talk about. That's one of them. The other thing is this. Obviously, there's Andre Diller rumors that are being thrown around, and even Jannard Avery. Apparently, there are teams interested in trading for Eagles linebacker Jannard Avery that I want to talk about as well. Derek Barnett is now being thrown around on the trade block as well because the New York Jets lost defensive end Carl Lawson. We're going to talk about this and reason why we're going to talk about it. In fact, let's just go ahead and start here. Why people are so quick to throw Derek Barnett over to the Jets because the Jets lost Carl Lawson is beyond me. Now, do I get it? I do, but it's not like we have a ton of depth behind Derek Barnett. Let me just say this. Brandon Graham is probably not going to be on this team next year. We need Derek Barnett. We can't just start throwing guys away. I get it. He's making a lot of money. I get it. He's underperformed a little bit, but we need to keep Derek Barnett on this team in the case that he does live up to his status, his draft stock status. Do you understand? So I'm not ready to just go ahead and trade Derek Barnett to the Jets just because they just lost overly paid defensive end Carl Lawson. So that's one point. But let's Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat, my man. Happy Monday, my dude. Let's talk about Andre Diller, the Andre Diller rumors. Look, there's rumors that he's going to get traded, and there's teams that are interested. One being Seattle Seahawks. Maybe he could go to the Seattle Seahawks. I know that Russell Wilson is always pining for more offensive linemen. They have not struck in a deal yet with their superstar their superstar offensive tackle. But then again, Andre Diller is not a superstar offensive tackle, and he's not even worthy of being considered a starter. Who else could you send Andre Diller to? Maybe Chicago. Jason Peters is in Chicago. Maybe there's a mentorship that you can kind of rekindle there in Chicago with Andre Dillard and Jason Peters. Who knows? That's my thinking in that matter. As far as the rumors are concerned, when it comes to linebacker Jannard Avery, you could send him to the Jets. You want to send him to the Jets for wide receiver Denzel Mims? I'm all for it. The Philadelphia Eagles need, it's crazy what I've been reading on the blog posts and the boards lately is, oh yeah, trade Jalen Reagor and get Denzel Mims. Why do you need to trade Jalen Reagor? Why do you need to trade Jalen Reagor? Jalen Reagor has actually done some really good things. Wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles have done some really good things over the last 2.5 weeks, and I think that you just got to let these young guys grow. Young guys grow. If you want to go ahead and sign a veteran wide receiver, go ahead and sign a veteran wide receiver on top of keeping Jalen Reagor. You don't need to trade Jalen Reagor. If you want to trade Jannard Avery or Derek Barnett to the Jets, if that were to happen, and you want to get Denzel Mims back in return, then go ahead and do that on top of keeping Jalen Reagor. You don't need to go and get rid of Jalen Reagor. Do the Philadelphia Eagles need more depth at the wide receiver position? Yeah, they do. The Philadelphia Eagles just released Hakeem Butler and then some other camp body today. The Eagles brought their roster count down to 80 today. Also releasing and waiving a backup center that I do not remember the name of, but that's okay. Toxic Falcon says, when you Jalen Reagor being good, do you mean in practices or preseason games? As of late, I think he's done a little bit of both. As of late, I think he's done a little bit of both. Uh, he had a solid game against the against the New England Patriots. He honestly did, and he had a solid game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, now it wasn't crazy, but he got open against the Steelers, and he did okay against the Patriots. But all these guys are a work in progress. These guys are young. The Philadelphia Eagles have wide receivers that are like 21, 22, 23. All of these guys are young. In fact, Greg Ward is 25, and he's considered the oldest wide receiver on the roster. Tox Falcon says, I heard the Raiders wanted to trade back for Khalil Mack. I heard that too. I heard that they tried back in like April or March. Tox Falcon says, and do you think Watson could be an Eagle this season or no? I don't think it's going to happen. But on that topic, I do still find it a little bit odd. I do still find what happened the other night a little bit odd. Jalen Hurts seemed like he was ready to go, and apparently they went back to the locker room, and he said that he wanted to be out there, and he was ready to keep going, even regardless of his stomach issues, I guess. But Nick Sirianni kind of held him out, and then he pulled the entire offensive line on top of it. So not really sure what happened there. Very suspect, very, very suspect. And then he ended up going to the hospital. Tox Falcon says, do you see the Eagles trading for any big players since you have those draft picks? Any big player? It's a good question. It's a good question because we do have the draft capital. But right now, I think that it's a transition year. And I think Jalen Hurts is included in that. I don't think that this year is about trying to reach the mountaintop. I don't think it's about making it very deep in the playoffs. I think that maybe there is a sense that, okay, maybe we're closer than we think that we are. And if they get to that point, if they continue, if that feeling continues to show up, then we'll see an in-season trade from the Philadelphia Eagles. But as of right now, I don't see anything happening. It really all depends on how Jalen performs. So there's that. I mean, if Tox Falcon says, if you could trade it for a good wideout, would you? Yeah, I would. I would put the wide receiver position to bed. I think I would trade. I would trade for what's his name in New Orleans. Honestly, look, they wanted Travis Fulgham to be the guy on the outside, and Travis Fulgham is 6'3", 217 pounds or whatnot, 212 pounds, and Travis Fulgham has been absolutely silent. Now, granted, we've gotten to see the play increase of Quez Watkins and Jalen Reagor has come on over the last couple of weeks, and Devontae Smith, obviously they drafted at 10 overall, and he's done a good job when he's been on the field. But they want that prototypical 6'3" guy on the outside opposite Devontae Smith. If you have that, then you have Quez Watkins and you have Jalen Reagor in the slot, and everything is, those guys can alternate in the slot together, and then everything would be groovy. So, but my thing is this: is that honestly, No, I don't know if it would be a wide receiver that I would trade for right now. I don't know if it would be a wide receiver that I would trade for right now. I think that I am worried. I am worried more about the Philadelphia Eagles' depth at cornerback than anything, especially over the last two games. Especially over the last two games. So, Talks Falcons. Then is Jamar Chase already a bust? No, no, he's not. Look. People jumped on Jamar Chase way too quickly. Look, I get it. He had like four drops. I mean, I didn't see them. Um, he had four drops in his preseason game, and people jumped on him way too quickly. Uh, Look, you're gonna go through some growing pains, um, as a rookie wide receiver. You know, let's see what he does. Let's see how he bounces back. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a bust. You know, we're looking at what CD Lamb is doing now, and I mean, CD Lamb had a phenomenal rookie season as well, but I mean, no, Jamar Chase is not already a bust. It's preseason. It's preseason. Speaking of CD Lamb, unfortunately, CD Lamb was placed on the COVID list for the Dallas Cowboys. Even though I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan, being placed on the COVID list for anybody is not a good thing. Docs Falcon says people say he's scared to get hit. I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of getting used to the game. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting used to the game. We'll see. We'll see how Jamar Chase. We'll see how Jamar Chase bounces back. I think Jamar Chase is going to be fine. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think Jamar Chase is going to be just fine. But speaking of people, or speaking of players and being just fine, Rasul Douglas, cornerback Rasul Douglas, former Philadelphia Eagle cornerback Rasul Douglas, was released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Should the Eagles bring him back? Is the question. And I think that they should. I think that they should. Talks Falcons says, and also a Eagles dude I was watching said Eagles should cut Mullins and sign Jamie Newman. Yeah, they should totally sign. They should totally re-sign Jamie Newman. They should totally bring back Jamie Newman. Jamie Newman was doing really well in OTAs, and I was kind of upset that they released him. A little bit shocked, honestly. Um, I think Joe Flacco and Nick Mullins have not lived up to their billing. So they should bring Jamie Newman back and give him another look. Honestly, because Jamie Newman, by a lot of analysts, by a lot of draft analysts, was considered um, to be a top tier quarterback. If he had stayed another year in college, he would have been one of those guys. So he was one of the top on. He was one of the top on rookie signings, undrafted rookie signings. Maybe they just didn't like something because it was fairly quick. I was surprised how quick. I was surprised how quick it was. I was surprised how quick they brought him in. They only had him in for OTAs. Yeah, he's like 6 foot. He's like 6'6", like 6'6". He's more of a Carson Wentz type of stature. More of a Carson Wentz type of stature. Speaking of big guys, the Philadelphia Eagles also signed another big tight end just due to the injury at the tight end position recently. 6'6", 250. What is it? Tyler Higginsby, I think his name is. Former Arizona Cardinal. But honestly, I'm really impressed with their undrafted rookie free agent signing, um, Jack Stoll. Honestly, he did a really good job in the Patriots game. Regardless, there's some positives to that game. There's some positives to that game. You know, tight end Jack Stoll did a great job after the catch and fighting for yards and did a really good job. Did a really good job. But it is the final week of the preseason. It is the final week of the preseason. And do I want Jalen Hurts to play? Yeah, I want Jalen Hurts to play. I think Jalen Hurts better play. Jalen Hurts needs to play in this game, honestly. In fact, they should treat this game like a dress rehearsal for the game against the Atlanta Falcons. Because you can't have these guys go in and be underprepared. You know what I mean? Um, you can't you can't have that happen. Um, and so I want to see at least a few series from Jalen Hurts. At least that's the hope. I get protecting the quarterback. I understand that, but you got to get these guys warmed up. I mean, you want to make sure that you're connecting on the throws, you know, that you're supposed to connect to in the regular season. You want to make sure that you get your routes cleaned up, that you get your passes cleaned up. You know, all of those things. Your timing down right, and preseason is the time to do that. We didn't have preseason last year, and we saw what the we saw how that affected multiple teams throughout the league. And right now, Jalen Hurts only has 2 series under his belt in the preseason. So, you know, yeah, does it give me cause to pause? Am I worried a little bit? Yeah, I'm worried a little bit worried. But I'm excited to see how these joint practices are going to go. The Eagles start joint practices with the New York Jets tomorrow. They are going to stay in New Jersey all week long. Obviously, the game is on Friday. But hey, this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Toxic Falcons, thanks for joining with me, man. I really, really appreciate it. Is Jalen playing this week? Well, we'll just have to see. Right now, it's a big, big mystery, my man. And I certainly hope so. Again, DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. I will be back on with you guys throughout the week. One love. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and go Birds, baby.